the biggest trade we have seen in years! Oh my goodness! I am just looking at it right now. 24 seconds ago, 3 minutes ago, Mikko Rantanen is going from Colorado to Carolina. We thought 20 minutes ago that this would be a really big trade involving Taylor Hall. Oh, that's great. That's the big piece. That's not JT Miller. It's Taylor Hall. But it's not even just Hall. It's Rantanen too. Mikko Rantanen and Taylor Hall going to Carolina. What the hell, man? I'm gonna keep on refreshing this page. We are gonna see the trade details, but I needed to get my immediate instinctual gut first reaction because this is the biggest trade the NHL has seen in years. Seriously, years. 3-team trade involving Taylor Hall and Rantanen going to the same team? Ay, Carolina's loading up. They're sick and tired of losing in the second and the third round. They want to win this year. And they're trying to do it with this move. I'll see you in a few seconds here, just so we can go over the trade details. Okay, extra, read all about it. Some extra info here from Arthur Staple. It sounds like Marty Necas is a part of the package going to Colorado from Carolina. So this is ridiculous. Carolina flips Necas, so far, all we know, Necas for Hall and Rantanen. Okay, great. Marty Necas, who's had a really interesting season, he lit the league up on fire at the start of the year, had a little bit of a down period in the middle parts, and has slowly started getting back up to speed, but now he's going over to play with Nathan MacKinnon. And here, Elliot Friedman tweeted this out: there is no extension for Rantanen as a part of the deal so far, so all the conversations we were having about Mikko Rantanen potentially getting like 14-something million, him wanting a whole bunch of money. This seems like a move where the Colorado Avalanche and Joe Sakic, they had absolutely no doubts about it. This guy was probably going to leave. 28 years old, $925 million. There was no reason to trade a player who's on pace for 107 points unless you knew there was no chance he was going to stay. And in Carolina, it doesn't seem like that part of the conversation is going to be addressed. They're just getting the guy. Carolina's like, okay, Colorado, you don't want to take that risk? You don't want to go into the deadline or anything with this guy not under contract? Well, give him to us. He can help us out alongside of Taylor Hall. Here, we'll give you Marty Necas, whom we were trying to trade for most of last season already, but whom we did not end up trading. And this might be the ultimate sell-high move for for Carolina. Because Necas, $6.5 million a year till the end of next season. He had signed a very short 2-year contract extension with Carolina after a season where nobody wanted him. He had 53 points, 77 games. They were trying to trade him. The price was too high. They didn't trade him. They re-signed him. And then he was the #1 point scorer in the NHL to open up this 24-25 year. And that's selling high on an asset. And sure, you get a guy in Rantanen whom you're going to have the entire same conversation with. You have to re-sign the guy. You have to bring him back. This is Jake Guentzel all over again for Carolina. It's not JT Miller. It's Mikko Rantanen. And we're not even talking about Taylor Hall because he's part of the trade too. Let's go back over and look at more info. So the thing is, even though this trade is huge, this is the biggest blockbuster trade we have seen in years. This is the best player who is getting traded in the middle of a season that we have seen in years. This is honestly one of these trades where I feel like we're not going to get all the details until like way later on into the night, and I unfortunately do have plans later today, so I might actually just make this video with the information that we have so far, just get the reactions out there, try to gauge the field, try to see what y'all have to say about it. Of course, it depends on return, but with the amount of return pieces that we have seen so far, Marty Necas over from Carolina to Colorado, Taylor Hall from Chicago to Carolina, Mikko Rantanen from Colorado over to Carolina, and the Blackhawks getting a third-round pick from who, we don't know where, but still. This is a really big deal. I wanted to go over some other stats as well, just kind of diving into things that we can talk about before we get the full details. Newest Hurricanes acquisition, Mikko Rantanen, 6'6" in the NHL with 64 points. No Carolina player has finished in the top 10 in scoring over an 82-game season since Eric Stahl in 2005-2006. It's been 20 years since the Hurricanes have had a guy this productive amongst the rest of the NHL. This is the best player they have acquired since then. It's ridiculous. And I'm thinking about it like, wow, depending on who is still there in Carolina, like, of course, Necas is gone. You can't guarantee anybody. Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, Shane Gostisbehere just came back. You still got Brent Burns. Who knows who's going to be on that power play? But Mikko Rantanen is going to be the #1 guy. This is huge for Carolina. Elliot Friedman, man, rubbing salt on the wound. I believe it's fair to say this. The Hurricanes had a decision to make. What was available from Vancouver and going for Rantanen. They struck for Mikko freaking Rantanen. Dhaliwal also said this. The Canucks asked about Necas in a Miller trade, but they were quickly told no. And it seems like Saravalli, 1 minute ago, gave us the details. Thanks, Frank Saravalli, for the misinformation, tossing Kotkaniemi's name into the deal, only for it to be proven wrong. Or not really proven wrong, but just kind of corrected. So, the things we'll talk about in this video will stay the same. We'll keep everything together. Instead, we're going over onto Emily Kaplan, who seems to have the biggest scoop here. Mikko Rantanen and Hall to Carolina, Necas and center Jack Drury to Colorado per sources. Chicago takes on 50% of Rantanen's salary and gets their own third-round pick back. So really, Chicago's not really getting much here. 50% of Mikko Rantanen and his $9.5 million AAV salary and a third-round pick that was initially their own. They're just kind of happy to be here. I'm not going to lie. The Blackhawks are just in it because they wanted to be in it. They helped facilitate the trade, so good on them. Here it is. We got even more insider info on the deal here. Official trade call hasn't happened, but Colorado was getting Necas and Drury as a part of this blockbuster with Carolina and Chicago. And yeah, Kotkaniemi was traded for 12 minutes and 39 seconds. Sorry. We had to re-upload the video. Kotkaniemi's not involved in it, unfortunately. Thanks, Frank Saravalli, but he did break the trade, so it's kind of 50-50 here. Big deal looks something like this. Carolina gets Rantanen and Hall, Colorado gets Necas and Drury, Chicago gets a third-round pick and 50%. The big question becomes, can the Hurricanes convince Rantanen to sign? Sebastian Aho will lead the lobbying. Jack Drury is an interesting name, because he actually is a guy that we made a Why I Want video all those years ago when he was eligible in 2018. This season he has 9 points in 39 games played. Last year he had 27 points in 74 games played. He is the son of Ted Drury, who happened to have his own NHL career in a limited capacity, but Jack Drury obviously has himself the status of being a part of the Hurricanes prospect system for a long time. He was great with Harvard back in his college days, but unfortunately he has not really found a way to break out past a bottom to middle six caliber center. Who knows if he'll get that opportunity in Colorado, but this is a pretty good change of scenery for him, alongside of Marty Necas heading over to the Avalanche. Here you go. Apology. Kotkaniemi not a part of the deal. There you go. More moving parts. We'll upload this video as it is. But thoughts in the comment section below about the Kotkaniemi exclusion from the deal. Necas and Drury are going over to Carolina. Rantanen to Carolina with Hall. Chicago getting money in a third-round pick. Lots to dive into. We'll get into it more as the days go on. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.